Humans are social creatures, and social distancing can make it hard to feel connected. This isn't the first time we've had to re-examine how and when we touch one another, as Matt Metcalf explains from The Vault.
With COVID, there's been a lot of talk about the future of human touching. But about 35 years ago, we were talking about it too, recognizing that it could be a source of both comfort and alarm. Check out these 1980s do's and don'ts of touching with PM Magazine's Steve Traynor, 1984.
Touching. Everyone does it. The average American woman touches someone 12 times a day. And for guys, believe it or not, it's 8 touches. Now, how they touch and what they touch can trigger emotional landmines ranging from ecstasy to rage. Touching, it turns out, is a powerful unspoken language that people rarely think about, but use in their everyday lives to communicate a variety of meanings.
Dr. Eleanor Feinberg, a psychologist at the Champaign County Mental Health Center, says that people like to touch. Most of us would like to do more and get more.
I think that most people need and want to be touched. It depends on how and when. Some people don't feel secure in being touched or feel frightened by it. But it's very important. Infants have been known to actually die if they haven't been touched, if they haven't been given any attention, or to be retarded. So it's very important.
So touching adds a little more meaning to your words?
Well, you don't always need a touch, but you respond very quickly to a touch. If somebody touches you in a hand, you feel that immediately, so that there's an immediate emotional response to a touch, and there's not necessarily an immediate response to just words. So that the combination of words and touch can be very powerful, either for the good or for the bad.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, now touch me, babe.
Okay, so a lot of us like to touch, but do we know how to touch, when to touch, and where? By avoiding what has been termed the touch taboos, we can be sure that when we touch correctly. Knowing and understanding the taboos is important because proper touching can now be taught. The first taboo is moving others out of the way. This communicates by touch alone that someone should get out of your way. It's considered rude and needlessly aggressive.
If somebody is standing in line, then they've paid their dues, so to speak. They're standing in line and they're waiting for their turn. And if somebody comes in and brushes in front of them, then they're really knocking them off their territory. And there's an unspoken game there that is not fair. There's an unspoken rule that is not fair.
Touching strangers is the next taboo. This type of contact is usually avoided at all times. It occurs, for example, when two people bump into each other, which prompts a two-way, excuse me. Too aggressive playfulness, like play fighting or wrestling, is the third taboo. This action should not appear more aggressive than playful. Without warning, the touch appears to be an aggressive action done to, rather than with, the other person.
Playful aggression can sometimes be fine, but what happens in playful aggression often is people are really getting rid of their hostilities in ways that are supposed to be appropriate.
The fourth taboo is the harmful touch. We should try to avoid inflicting pain on others during normal social interaction. Types of harmful touches include touching someone's sunburn, stepping on someone's toes, or touching someone with cold hands. Startling touches occur both intentionally and accidentally. And this is the fifth taboo. Do not surprise someone you know with an unexpected punch, poke, or pat.
The startling touch is a touch that's totally unexpected. For instance, if a husband or wife is sitting in the living room and reading a book, and the one partner comes and hugs the other one unexpectedly, you could get a very unpleasant response from that because it's unexpected.
Interrupting another's important activity is the sixth taboo. An example would be touching someone as they raise a hot cup of coffee to their mouth. This is considered bothersome and interfering. The seventh and last taboo is almost always rejected, the double whammy or insult touch. This combines an aggressive verbal message with an aggressive touch, like putting on some weight while poking that person in the stomach. This action doubles the insult by literally rubbing in the offensive words.
If a wife is complaining that her husband is too heavy, what she might do, he may be, say, eating an ice cream cone. What she might do is poke him in the stomach and say, hey, aren't you gaining a little weight? And what that is doing is it's saying something negative, and it's intruding on him in terms of touching him, supposedly playfully, but that feels very aggressive.
So there you have it, the 7 taboos of touching. Knowing and understanding them are important when it comes to establishing a friendly rapport with people, and it's a way of approaching people in a non-threatening, non-aggressive manner. So go ahead, reach out and touch someone. Just be sure you know how and when.
We all need a human touch.
Fast forward 35 years to a post-Me Too world where the rules for touching are even more complicated, especially in workplaces. CareerBuilder says it's important to remember that handshakes may be okay, but not for all cultures. Touching should always be less than 5 seconds. Don't touch people's hair, a good rule. It's probably best not to hug unless you have a deep history with that person. And think hygiene. COVID is still out there. If you have touchy-feely tendencies, CareerBuilder encourages you to think first about how your touch might make others feel. From the Vault, I'm Matt Metcalf.
And a big thank you to Matt Metcalf. That was awesome. And if you want to see more stories like that, tune in each Sunday morning at 9 to watch this week's episode from The Vault, and all of the stories also at WCIA.com.